So now, once we already did some car rigging stuff on the hood, well, what could you suggest when, for example, you want to shoot a bike?
Yeah.
On open road?
This is going to be a little bit different than the front, because on the front we have the drone with the gimbal. So this is going to be a hard mounted camera for a different type of shot, and we're going to mount it straight to the side, camera facing backwards, so we can get a nice hard mounted shot of the bike kind of rolling alongside us and going by us. So yeah. First step is definitely clean the door, just like we did the hood too. Always make sure there's no dust, debris, anything on it, because that'll affect the suction. So we have the Matthews suction cup right here. This is a Manfrotto ball head, and we're gonna just spin this on here.
And you have different type of suction here.
Yeah, different type of suction cups and different types of mounts, all for different kinds of applications. So this.
Where did you buy it?
This one was from B&H.
B&H, of course.
Yes, but I know they do sell them on other retail stores. Amazon sells them too. So.
Okay.
And Matthews has their own website. I think it's MSC Grip, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And they obviously sell a whole car rigging kit, which is great.
And what's the price range?
For this one?
So yeah, this one or that one, I think it's almost the same.
So
with a ball head and a suction cup.
Yeah, I believe Matthews sells a whole car rigging kit, which comes with this suction cup and a couple of smaller ones, and all these rails for, I believe it's about like 300, give or take.
Okay.
When I got it, at least. So.
What type of DSLR you have here?
So this is a Sony a7 IV, which is perfect for this because it's very lightweight, and we have a lightweight lens on here. This is the kit lens that comes with it that's perfect for this kind of application.
Okay.
Got our plastic food wrap. So we are going to implement this onto here just to show you guys how this works. So we're going to stick this right about there. Good. On. Gonna apply pressure. Just like that. So now we're gonna make the adjustment to the ball head of where we want it to be, so we don't have to do that adjusting
For
later.
example, about this ball head, you have just one screw on the center of the ball head. So do you manage something to be sure the ball head will not fall?
Oh, twisting wise, you mean?
Yeah, twisting. Yeah.
So this one, it's kind of like a C-stand. So you want it to turn right, so it kind of tightens as it goes. So this one will push it all the way back, and will lean the camera towards the back a little bit, so when it goes back, it'll just tighten as it goes.
Always keep that in mind, because sometimes it can be it can lose a bit on that way.
Yes.
So keep in mind when you are rigging your car to always be 100% sure that it's very tightened. And
Absolutely.
I have a quick tip. You can use a Loctite.
Loctite.
Do you know this?
The glue?
Yeah, the glue. Sometimes, just not the strongest, of course, but there is different type of not pressure, but of glue power or something.
Properties,
like
that.
Yeah. And so yeah, you can use easily Loctite glue to help you on that way.
Definitely. And also, what we're going to do with this too is add another suction cup or two to make sure that this is rock solid.
Yeah.
But you always definitely want to make sure righty-tighty. Cool. Just want to see something real quick.
And another basic advice, but try before lock your camera in the plate. Just try the height of your shot if it's okay for you. But because sometimes you start by putting the suction cup, and then you realize that you want a shot a bit lower or something like that.
Of course.
So that's basic, that's evident, but yeah, try before rigging your camera.
Cool. So I'm going to take this off. So, more Matthews grip. So, throw these on here. And these come in the kit that Matthews sells, their car rigging kit. And this is going to help stabilize the camera itself.
So basically it's just 2 couplers with tubes?
Yes,
With
and
rods.
these rods are going to go to other suction cups with these heads on them. That's going to keep everything nice and tight.
Okay.
So what I like to do with these is generally figure out a rough estimate of where you're going to put your other suction cup by kind of just eyeballing where the rods are. So right about here is where I put another suction cup to hold this top end. So about this length, so the next suction cup will go about here. And these are all great because if you need a longer length, they break down and you can just screw them into each other.
Perfect.
Just like this.
Yeah.
Because you obviously are going to want to leave space for this door to open and close.
When you are on set, you will be stressful because maybe the clients will watch what you are doing.
Absolutely.
Or maybe a producer or something like that, and maybe you have a conversation with somebody else.
Yep.
So that's why you need to try at home.
Absolutely. You want to be
Client
confident because
speaking.
otherwise you don't want to look silly.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how this looks now. Not bad. Could be better. Because generally, like Thomas said here, this panel flexes. So generally, whenever you're rigging something, you want to try and find a body panel that's rigid and hard, but doesn't always happen. It's not always the case. So do what you can.
And because it's an arm mount, of course, you will see the micro vibration, of course. But it can add sometimes a look to your
Absolutely.
footage.
Especially if you're trying to show speed and quickness and things like that. Little micro vibrations are great because it gives that image that you're going extremely fast.
And so that's why wider is better, because you will lose micro vibration by be a bit wider.
Absolutely. And if you want, I mean, we can even switch to an 18mm lens that'll even get wider than this, and it'll be really cool looking. So we'll try that.
I will not recommend to push away than 50mm or something like that when you do arm mounts like that.
Definitely, because otherwise it's going to be too jittery.
Yeah, shaky is cool, but not too much.
Not too much. So we're going to put one more on top of here.
And as always, for example, if you get wider, watch out to don't have your suction cup in the shot.
Absolutely.
I just say sometimes basic stuff, but it always happens on cinema sets. For example, I have a story about rigging Arri Alexa, and we spot a microphone in it. So it's easier because it's just one suction cup with a microphone in it.
So I run the Genius Tech filters, so they're an ND and CPL in one. So very cool. So if you want to change the ND, you just hold the CPL, which is in the middle, and twist the variable ND. So if you want to change the ND filter, you just hold the CPL, which is this middle ring. Hold this, you see the arrow there, which goes to minimum and then to maximum variable ND. And then if you want to change the CPL shift, you just take the pin, back and forth. 2-in-1, very useful.
For sure.
Especially for shooting cars.
For sure. And about the quality, is that okay? Like PolarPro or mid-range or high range?
This is more the higher range. I do like this one a lot because it doesn't really give you any color shifting, which happens on the lower end CPLs and ND filters.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to end up bringing this suction cup in a little bit closer so there's less play here. So we're going to just undo this. And sometimes this happens, and you figure it out as you go. I'm gonna pull this out of here.
It's not just sometimes, it's always.
Always, yeah, literally. So, there. So,
Okay.
actually, this is a great example because you can see the suction cup ring here, but when you pull it away, nothing.
By the way, the plastic wrap, you can use it as a rain protection or maybe dust protection around your DSLR, because sometimes we don't protect as much as we need our gear.
Absolutely.
So yeah, plastic food wrap are not good for the ocean, but good for car rigging.
This reach there. Alright, we'll use this. Okay.
And by the way, in the world course, we name a lot of brands, but we are not partner or something like that with any brands, okay? It's just our personal advice.
Looks good.
Yeah. When you're all set up here, what's the next step?
So we want to see what we're actually shooting. So what we're going to do is attach this Atomos Ninja V, which is a monitor and recorder. We're going to suction cup it to the front windshield here with another Matthews suction cup. And we are going to run an HDMI cable from the camera into here so we can monitor and record everything that we're doing, because otherwise, how are you going to see what you're doing?
Mm-hmm, for sure. And that's exactly the same process you do when you do bigger shots with your back trailer,
Yes.
rig or something like that. Even with a Flossini black arm or motocrane, you can use that type of rigging for rigging monitors inside the car.
Absolutely.
And for powering the monitor, you just use one battery.
Yeah, because this battery in here will last about a good hour before I have to swap it. If it's a shoot that I know I'm going to need extended time for, I will plug in DC power and run it off a much bigger battery so I know it won't die very quickly.
Yeah, for sure. What I do in Europe, I just put a 2 V-mount battery here on the glove box, and then I buy a long cable, a DC cable, so I can close the glove box, and I know I'm okay for the day, and
great.
I don't care about the power level or something like that.
Oh, what's great about go ahead.
Yeah, for both monitors, behind and in front. So quick tip.
What's great about these vans too is a lot of them have outlets. So 110 volt that you can just run power from, and it'll just run the entire day.
Yeah.
Just plug straight in. So minivans look like a dad vehicle, but they're very useful.
That's why dads love
Exactly.
that kind of vehicle.
And what we'll do is we'll end up just gaff taping this a little bit just so it doesn't blow in the wind, because sometimes if you don't gaff tape it and the cord's in a weird spot, you'll actually see it in footage.
And it can damage your HDMI Pro too.
Absolutely. Because I run the Atomos in there, there's an SSD in there because it's a recorder, so I can run start and stop straight from the recorder. If you don't have that kind of setup, you can buy wireless setups that will trigger, record, run, and stop with just a handle. Like Tilta's Nucleus system does that exact thing. But for this one, I can just do straight from the Atomos.
Or for example, with Blackmagic cameras, you got a free app with a Bluetooth controller in it.
So when you're gaffing HDMI cord like this, it's always good to have an HDMI lock on the camera, obviously, but whenever you do this, you never want to pull the cord too tight like this. You want to give it a little slack, this way it doesn't damage the actual port inside. And then you can run it straight up.
Another tip, if you had the chance to have a roof window, please use it. So you don't have to open the window.
Definitely.
Sometimes we didn't think about that, but that's a good point.
In his helmet, he doesn't have a phone or a speaker. So what we're going to do is pre-plan and give an idea of what we're about to do, so he has a general idea of how to go about things. But since we're going to be side by side with one another, I'll be able to communicate with hand signals that we pre-plan for him to either fly by or stay where he is in a certain distance apart.
And by the way, Neo know how it works. You know hard mounts, wide angle, etc. So you have the habit of that, so it can help as well.
And look at this beautiful bike.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful bike. Come on.
It's been a couple places.
Yeah, he knows what to do. I don't even have to tell him. Nice.
So you have an autofocus on the center of the image?
Yep.
Right?
Yep, it's on autofocus right now, so it's getting about good center of the image. It's a little wider than normal, but just it can capture him going back and forth a little bit. That was great.
Your tents are so dark I can't see anything.
We can head back.
Got it.
So with the Sonys, with this setup, it's hard to control exposure wirelessly. So what I do is I gauge where I'm going to be shooting, whether it's in shade or in sun, depending on what road or route we're taking. And I will set the exposure properly for that area, just so ahead of time everything's all good to go.